What do a millennial and a pastor from Gen X have in common? Not much, but they love the Lord and they love life. Join us as Justin and Sam look at the lighter side of Bible, church, and life with Making Light of It. All right, welcome back. No, not back. Welcome to Making Light of It. It is the very first episode 1, which in Spanish is Uno. Very good. So I'm a Gen X pastor. Now, not Gen X, like that's not the group I serve, but my generation. I was born in 78.
Yeah.
You are a millennial.
That's right.
And the whole concept here is we don't really have a whole lot in common when it comes to the scheme of life, but we, as the intro said, we love the Lord and we love life.
That's right.
And we're very firm believers that we should enjoy life as a whole.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the joy of the Lord, right? And then there's the joy of life.
Joy of life. I love joy in life. I love joy in life. On paper, we do not seem like we would
there's not a lot there.
mix well.
But we are really good friends.
Yeah, sure.
And we do work together. We work together at Cumberland County Community Church. I'm the executive pastor there. You're the
Youth director
there. And see, therein lies what's going to be some of the humor in this whole thing is the way you pronounce words. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know who taught you how to say things.
My mom.
Yeah.
I
So
give that to my mom. Phonics. Shout out to Phonics.
say that again. What's your job title?
Youth director.
Director. Most people would say director.
Director.
Right.
Caramel or caramel?
It's caramel. Yeah. See, so
I feel like I say both, though. Like, I don't think I'm as consistent as I would like to be.
based on the audience that you have is the way you adjust
I think I
the words.
adapt to where I'm at. Water becomes more like water.
Well, we are
depending
South
where I
Jersey
go.
too, so like I didn't grow up in South Jersey.
Okay.
I think
I
that kind of leads to the story time. Like any episode or any podcast, you kind of want to know who they are. So this is like the get to know
moment.
you thing. So I grew up mostly in the Midwest, bounced around. Like I spent time in Wyoming, Kansas City, Michigan, Nebraska, and then zoomed all the way across the country to Connecticut, where I spent my junior high, senior high years. College at Lancaster Bible, and then I followed my wife here. So I've been in Jersey almost as long as you've been alive. I've been here since 2001. So not long after you were born.
Maybe a good 6
you were
years.
barely out of diapers at that time. But your story is a little bit more direct, right?
Yeah. I'm a Sunday school kid, youth group kid for a period of time before I kind of disappeared for some time, and and then the Lord kind of grabbed me in different ways and pulled me and tugged me, and finally I surrendered, and then the church became a big part of my life. Again, it was a big part of my life as a kid, but more of my parents were nudging me to get in there,
Right.
And so now I'm nudging my parents to get back in there. So it's life comes
coming full circle.
It's pretty cool how the Lord works. He's got great humor.
And sooner or later, you'll be changing their diapers just like they changed yours.
One day. Well, if it's up to
Will
my dad,
you?
he won't let me. My
Okay.
dad says if he can't wipe, just let him run his circle.
He's done.
Just let him
that's
go.
it. He's
Yeah.
ready to go be with the
Yeah.
Lord on that end of things. Lived in Violin your whole life?
Lived in Violin my whole life, born and
Literally.
raised. Yeah, born in Newcomb Hospital. And lived a few blocks away for so many years, and I'm not getting away from Violin.
No,
South
you're
Jersey.
hardcore Violin. You senior year, you participated in Mr. Violin.
I did. Should have
seen
won.
that. Yeah.
Should have won.
It's
okay, though.
There's no reference to Mr. Violin or any competition where Justin doesn't mention it.
Nope.
He should have had it. He should have won.
No, yeah, I should have won. But I think what was better than getting a trophy was hearing everybody the next day say, "You kind of should have won. I think you deserved it." So it worked out. I got some type of recognition at the end.
What they classically call in sports the moral victory.
Yes, that is. I will take that moral victory.
The people's choice when there was no people's choice to be
Yeah,
had.
when I meet people, sometimes that is a point of conversation. Is, hey, did you know I was in Mr. Violent? I did my own rap. So that was a full circle moment for me too.
You are very correct. You actually love music. I do know that for a fact.
Yeah, music is life.
We both. That's actually one of the things. So Justin was in my youth group, and was one of my quote unquote projects for a little while, so to speak, trying to pull him back.
Couldn't stand you.
And music, yeah. I'm direct. You're gonna find that out if you don't know me already.
I did not like directness when I was younger.
Direct in the Lord. Like I don't beat around the bush. That's not how my life works. But I do it all in love.
Yeah, definitely.
If I'm not direct with you, and then maybe that's my love language. I'm going to give it to you straight.
I agree.
And but we connected through music.
Yeah.
So we got some
Even
great-
hey, I remember I showed you a Spanish Christian rap album before, and you took time to listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. It's very interesting.
Probably the only word I understood was Jesus.
Yeah,
or,
most likely.
Or hallelujah.
One of the two. I'd give you three. Probably.
But
There's probably three in there.
I listened to it.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Well, you got me on Cross Movement. Cross Movement was my jam. Like
my
honestly,
goodness.
if it wasn't for Cross Movement, I probably would have listened to worse stuff.
So,
then
yeah.
I did listen to. Yeah.
The throwback for those that don't know, like Cross Movement was early Christian rap, just right when Christian rap was becoming good.
Yeah.
And they were the
time.
front runners of that.
Yeah.
Really big time in that. And I was fortunate enough to go to school with one of those guys. They were very theologically strong.
Oh, their lyrics are ridiculously
and the music
great.
was really,
Right
really
on
good.
point.
So we're both sports guys, right? Your sport is
Baseball.
baseball. My sport is basketball.
Yeah,
And I have
totally
a lot of success stories in the past in basketball. Though most people now, when they see me, do not see me as a former basketball player. They think I am a recent football player.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've gained a little bit of size since my
Yeah.
high school days. Now, here's one thing I definitely want to bring up. Born and raised in Vineland. South Jersey your whole life. South Jersey has their designated sports teams.
Yeah.
In fact, the baseball team that everyone in South Jersey roots for are the Phillies,
Yeah.
except for you.
That's right.
You root for
Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wow.
Red Sox Nation, baby.
How did that come about?
I was able to make my own decision one day. I realized I'm like, I don't have to go with the flow. I can choose my own thing here.
I was able
now,
to make my own decision.
Granted,
I'm a big boy.
I was influenced by somebody, my uncle in my life.
Okay,
He was a
all
big
right.
Red Sox fan. But players-wise, you had Big Papi, David Ortiz, for those who don't know. Then you had Pedro Martinez, which me
Okay.
as baseball pitcher, Pedro Martinez was my guy.
And
so,
Puerto Rican, right? Descent? Is he
Dominican, yeah, but I mean, it's in the family.
It's in the Latino family,
think,
I guess. Yeah.
something
I don't know
like
if you
that.
can say that.
Don't want to
completely.
offend anybody.
Yeah, you already did. They've already turned
it's
off.
okay. They'll forgive me, maybe. But I was a pitcher. Even to this day, I love just throwing the ball and having the art behind it. So Pedro Martinez with the Expos, I wasn't an Expo fan, but I was following him. So when he went, it kind of solidified. And you got 04, the series, reversing the curse, coming back, defeating the Yankees in such a beautiful way, and then going to the World Series and doing a beautiful thing.
Anyone that defeats the Yankees has got it going on there.
Yeah, just don't wear your Red Sox jersey in Yankee Stadium.
No.
It's not a
You got to play a little bit smarter.
no holds barred staff
than,
will get you.
than all that. So my varied history of sports teams that I follow they're all over the map, and they all follow my dad or where he used to live. Big
Okay.
Kansas City fan, so Chiefs, Royals. So I'm living high in the hog.
Yeah, yes, you are.
right now in the midst of all that.
Right.
So we made a decision to do a podcast.
Yeah. So why a podcast, Sam?
Well, that didn't sound canned at all. Very
No.
good.
Why? Tell me.
If you want
Give
a
me your
little
answer.
bit into the back, I said, make sure you ask me why so we can kind of explain this thing. So for the local radio station, the Send FM, which a lot of people know and
Yeah.
might even be hearing this on the Send FM, is they do these little radio sound bites from local pastors,
Yeah.
which I absolutely
great.
love. I think it's genius. It's a great move by Greg, who kind of runs the show over there. And so I got invited to do some little sound bites on them, and I do this little segment, 90 seconds to 120 seconds,
Okay.
sound bites called Food for Thought, spiritual food for thought.
Yep.
Well, I first started calling it spiritual food for thought, and then it got too wordy, so I just cut it down to food for thought. And the whole premise of the whole thing is like looking at areas and segments of life and trying to put biblical principle to it, and just looking at life a little bit differently through the lens. Like, and literally, as we're trying to decide what we're going to call this podcast, I'm just like, hey, we're looking at things. We're supposed to be the salt and light of the world, and that's kind of where we initially lean towards.
Yeah.
And so we should be making light in every area of our lives. So essentially, 2 minutes. I like to talk.
Yeah. Same.
2 minutes is not enough time to get through some of these topics.
Not at all.
So this will be more of a long form. Plus, hopefully, people realize pretty quickly, I like having fun. Like, I like
Yeah.
creative platforms.
Yeah.
There's a couple
Definitely have fun with
podcasts out there that I really love. I really enjoy. One's called The Spitballers. Guys just have fun. I can tell the guys, if they're not Christians, they grew up in the church and they have a tone to them. It's a very family friendly podcast. I do recommend that. The other one I listen to a lot is Unashamed. That's the Robertsons, Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty.
I've referred you over to him. Mayor Rob in the background, I referred him to it too. But we So I'm like, man, I really like these. I like the styles. We're going to kind of blend the two.
Merge the two together.
Yeah, so you're going to get a mix of some Bible, some content that both of us enjoy and really enjoy
Thoroughly.
studying and breaking down, and then just some silly because life's silly. And,
Yeah,
and
well-
quite frankly, I don't want any project if I can't laugh through the whole
Yeah,
thing.
two things we love: the Bible and laughter. Merge them together, it only
That's
makes
it.
a beautiful
And
creation.
that's making light of it. So that's kind of where we're
Love
at
it.
with that.
Love that.
So we are going to do a couple things to kind of get to know you a little bit, and I think one of the best ways to try to get to know a person and what they key in on is what I call a table of four.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a table of four. It's you and three individuals that you can invite to dinner from the Bible.
Okay.
But we're excluding Jesus. I think that's an obvious one.
Yeah, I think
Everyone
everybody
would love the
would.
opportunity to sit down for him. I just saw the viral video where it shows Jesus around the dinner table and they order water and they're all like snicking. I don't know if you said it to me or not.
Yeah.
They're like,
He's like, well, we'll have
we'll just have
the water.
water. And they're all laughing.
Jesus, like, chill, guys.
Definitely out of context, not theological, but hilarious.
Hilarious, I
That
love
just
it.
gives you an idea of some of the humor.
That's what we
Okay,
love.
So you have a table of three.
Okay.
Who's your first guest?
First guess, Ananias of Damascus.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Going deep cut here.
Yes.
All right. So
I want to. I consider his amazement when receiving Saul at the time of his conversion, and so I would like to know exactly what it was like to see Saul at that time, blind, looking specifically for him. What was the journey for Saul like to find him? Like how the things like that take place. It just goes through my mind. But what was it like to deal
opening the door.
with Saul? Yeah, opening the door. What was it like dealing with it? And then it comes to fruition. It happens, and then his life changes. Like to see I work with the youth, so to see kids change in the youth, it's like, wow, that's got to be pretty cool. So Ananias of Damascus. Was number one.
That is a deep cut. I've asked this question to a ton of people. The first time that one's ever come up. All right. So who's next?
Enoch.
Enoch. Another deep cut. All right.
I want to know what that was like. You didn't die, my friend. You walked up pretty much with God. Like you were called to Him. You didn't see.
So here's the catch in there. Now, you're getting Enoch before he died.
Okay, that's okay. That's it. So now, yeah, that goes a little bit. Do I
You're
want
going to miss
Enoch
out on a
before
little
or
bit of the
after?
story of the
That's a
situation
good
there.
question. So, yeah, if we call him, so I'll do.
I guess
post-
technically he's not dead, so it'd be easier to
it'd
bring
be
him.
yeah, it'd be easier to bring him. But
I don't know how that works out.
Enoch before he went, or I'd take Enoch after because
Okay,
I
right
get
after
more
the-
from there.
right
Yeah,
after he goes. Okay.
Definitely. I
So
would
you got
love to find out what it
Ananias,
was like to walk with God.
Who has
That and what did he do? Like, what was your life like? What were your habits and your practices
Enoch,
through life?
to get there?
To be in such high regard with God that you don't even feel
Yeah.
that sting, I guess you can say, of death. Like you
Right.
were so highly regarded
Speaking
by
of
God to be called
Sting,
up.
you got to ask him, hey, remember when you wrote that stuff down and it's not in the canon?
You're like, well,
Sting!
that's a good one. I like that.
Okay, Ananias is there.
Ananias.
Enoch is there.
Last but not least, Mary.
Mary,
I would
which
choose-
one? There's 1,000 Marys
Jesus'
in the Bible.
mother,
Jesus'
Mary.
mother, Mary.
Jesus' mother, Mary. Tell me about baby Jesus. Like, come on, it's
Right.
you and I.
We missed
Come
out on a
Yeah.
whole-
There's got to be something funny there. Okay,
It's
did he
like Jesus was
pick up a table as
born,
a baby when he was
Yada,
like did
yada,
something
yada.
happen?
You lost him. Yada, yada,
Yeah.
yada. Ministry.
Yeah. Were you really worried when he was gone? Like you knew he had.
Well, you
been
have to
fine.
ask her the classic question. Did you know?
Did you know?
Mary?
Yeah,
did
Mary,
you know?
Did you know? Like, come on. I think she would have a smart remark back. Like, of course I knew.
Right, yeah.
I think he told me.
There's a meme out there for that song, yes, yes, no, no, whatever. It kind of breaks down all the questions
Yeah.
and things that she did know that the angel told her.
That's legit.
And go from there.
That
is,
and maybe there was no photo albums back then, so it'd have to be a bunch of stories. And then also, if you get a little bit deeper, what was it like to see Jesus go through what he went through? How did you feel as a mother?
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
knowing though that your son was the Messiah, like this is what he was sent for, and he, in a sense, is God. He is God. So
Follow-up question: how long did that sit with her? Like, if she knew that, like, so she knows from birth that he was sent to be the savior of all, and as she starts to hear about his ministry and the things that he's starting to share along the lines, like, I'm sure the dots started to connect with her a lot quicker
Yeah.
than they did with everyone else.
at what
'Cause she-
point does she go?
I think I know what's happening here.
Happening? Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That would be pretty dramatic.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting just table. That right there, I think is just full.
Crazy table.
Yeah.
That's a full table.
Conversation. That's a
good.
long dinner.
This is a long dinner.
So we flip it?
Yeah, we flip it.
Come
Now you
on,
ask
bring
me.
it. What do you got? You got
Okay,
3 guesses.
So my mostest favorite guy in the Bible is Elijah.
Okay.
So I have to sit down with Elijah. And mostly because he was the first trash talker in the Bible, the first
Yeah.
recorded trash talker in the Bible. And of course, I love talking a little trash.
Got to.
And that. So I want to talk through that experience. So if I really want to get specific, I want Elijah right after the mountaintop, before the depression.
Okay. Yeah. Before
Right.
that, yeah.
I want to know what that moment was like. I want to have him all like fired up, ready to go. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we just killed like 400. Like, let's go. Like,
Hype.
I'm
Energy.
ready. Like,
Yeah.
he is just juiced up, ready to go. I want him there. And then my next guy I want there, very similar vein, like very aggressive, very like I'm coming at you, Peter,
Okay.
pre crucifixion, Peter.
Okay.
So before
he
like
betrayed.
before the betrayal,
Okay.
Peter cutting ears off,
Ready to die for
foot and
Jesus.
mouth, you know,
Yeah.
get behind me, Satan,
Yeah.
like just really aggressive, like saying the wrong thing with the right heart.
You're
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah, definitely.
That Peter, I want that Peter. I
Yeah.
want to talk to him. I want to
Fire in that
like
guy.
just fire and just ready to go. So I want these two guys at my table.
Mm-hmm.
I just want like that energy, that juice. I want to like, you know, Elijah's had these great victories, these
Mm-hmm.
incredible experiences that only God can get him through. So I want to know about that. And then Peter firsthand received what it was like to do wrong, to mess up, and have immediate forgiveness, and
Yeah.
a second chance, and a
Yeah.
third chance, and a fourth chance, even before the betrayal,
Yeah.
even before the denial. Excuse me, like he just went through all that stuff. And what would it be like? All right, cut the guy's ear off, and Jesus was put it right back on.
back.
There's a whole. We may have to get into that a little bit later, like. Just a little bit of study. I read something that went a little bit deeper about what it would have meant for Peter if Jesus didn't put the ear back on. Crazy town. Crazy
Okay.
town.
I could see that getting deep. Yeah.
It's
for
worth
sure. That's actually
exploring.
sparks my interest even more now.
And my third person, and I want you to keep in mind, I have fiery Peter. I have
Okay.
fiery Elijah.
Fire Peter, fire Elijah.
I want Judas after the kiss.
After the kiss. Ooh.
How hot would these guys be?
Wow.
Imagine
That
the
table
tension.
just turns quickly. That table's
I
not
don't
going to
think
stay there.
I don't
for
think
long.
he'll get seated.
No, he wouldn't. Yeah,
Come
he'd
on.
sit on the floor. If
How
anything.
fired up would they be
Wow.
in that situation?
Yeah, and how? Yeah, Judas. He would probably feel stupid.
Would he get it? Yeah.
You know, something like
These
he
guys,
would feel
imagine all the sacrifice, everything these guys have been through.
right. Everything that they've witnessed, that they know God. You
Yeah.
know,
And Judas comes walking in right after the game.
right after the kiss.
Fired up.
Take your lips off of you. You don't deserve those
I think
lips.
that's tension. Now,
Yeah.
on the other hand, talking to Judas would be kind of interesting, I think. Where in the world was your mind at? Like,
Yeah.
how?
What was going through your mind? Like
It just goes to show, and I've seen it all the time, just because you have the greatest preachers doesn't necessarily mean you're going to fall in line or,
Yeah.
and follow God. Like,
That is.
you really need to take ownership of it. Crazy.
I like these two tables.
Crazy.
I don't know. I think my table is very calm and just talk to
table
each
is
other.
calm.
Amazement. Yours is like,
Let's
yo,
go.
cutthroat.
I'm ready to go.
Or almost like an episode of Mario.
Our
okay? Just
server
fighting
is
back
gonna
and
be
forth.
like, no, we're gonna have to like pay and tip ahead of time
Yeah.
to get anything out of
Don't
it.
even ask us anything after this. We just need time.
So we are gonna do another segment, which will come up on occasion. Would you rather? And we have
Ooh,
Mayor
those get
Rob
juicy.
producing
Mayor
in the
Rob.
background.
Wait, okay, explain to me. Why do we call him Mayor Rob?
So I call Mayor Rob because when I see him Sunday mornings, Rob, if you see Robert without a smile, you've seen an eclipse.
This is a
it
fact.
does not happen.
Yeah.
So he comes in, he's like the happiest, most friendly guy. It's just a joy to see him.
Yeah.
And he's always looking so dapper, especially Sunday mornings. Like he's clean, ready to go. And I swear he's running for office. So like that's the thing. Like I always say, vote for Robert.
Maybe
and
we
that kind of
should,
stuff.
yeah, we
So
should encourage him.
my thinking is he's going to be mayor one day. So he
Like
is.
it. I can see it. I can
Mayor
see it.
Rob.
I see
He's
the vision
definitely
now.
Mayor Rob. So Mayor Rob's there in the background.
Well, yes, I appreciate this. That's making me blush back here.
he's blushing. There's no camera on him if you're watching online, but we're working on that. That's called the early podcast blues,
Yeah.
trying to sort all that
Starting
stuff
from the
out.
gutter.
All right, so you have a list of would you rathers that
I
you can
do.
pick from. Why don't you give us one of those?
First one off. Would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors, or go into the future and meet your great-great-grandchildren?
Go into the past and meet your ancestors,
or meet your
or great-great-grandchildren
of
going to the future.
I'll let you go age before beauty.
Ouch.
With love.
There's no love there. I think I want to go down the road. So I want to see my great-great-grandchildren. I have a good enough history, and I kind of know what's going on. Like I have a good relationship, or before they passed, a good relationship with my grandparents.
Yeah.
I'm at that phase in life. I got a boy in college at Messiah University. I got another boy junior in high school. So I'm very close to being the empty nest house.
Okay.
So I'm already thinking like, all right, what's it look like? What does my life look like 5 to 10 years from now in my grandpa? So I'm starting to think like generationally,
Is there a
like
basketball
along those
player?
lines. I don't know.
know,
So
yeah.
listen, I thought my boys would be basketball players. They're not. They're incredible musicians.
Hey.
I've learned very quickly as a parent, just whatever expectations you have for your kids, drop them.
Throw 'em
They're
out
going to
the
be
window.
who they're going to be.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. But yeah, I think I'm going down the road. I want to see, Lord willing, that they've maintained the faith, that the faith has gone through, that what my parents, my wife's parents, what we have instilled in our children, does it pass on down through the generations.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
It'd be kind of neat to, like, would be really cool if they saw me, would they recognize me?
Yeah.
Because there's so many pictures out there now, like with
Right.
cell phones and all that stuff, does it, like, tally on through? Like, if I go back in the past, I won't know who I'm looking at. There's no photographic
Yeah,
evidence.
they're still grainy and.
So
not
where are you
HD.
at?
I would like to say future, but I think I'm gonna go the opposite route, and I'm
Okay.
gonna say I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna meet some ancestors, mainly because of this. When I was a child, I grew up being told that someone in my family, my dad's side of the family, from my great grandfather, my abuelito,
Okay.
one of them was an Oompa Loompa in the original
No.
Willy Wonka.
No.
Yes. So it makes sense. My grandmother on that side and all her sisters share the same form, and you could probably pass for an Oompa Loompa.
form.
So, it's the best way I can say it. I love you guys, but I would like to see if I can find that person.
That's
Specifically, if not, it'd be really cool just to see the history and
No.
the wars that
No.
maybe they were in.
No.
I gotta
If you're
find
going
the
back,
Oompa
you
Loompa.
got- you
I gotta
gotta
go to
find
Willy Wonka's
Papa
chocolate factory.
Oompa Loompa.
I wonder if it was the one that fell. No, that wasn't an Oompa Loompa
So,
that fell into chocolate.
You watch that movie with a completely different perspective. You're the one rooting for the Oompas.
I'm waiting for the Oompa Loompa
Like
scene.
where they come through.
When it comes
like,
out, I'm like,
do I
oh,
look
was
like
that
him? Do I look
Yeah,
like
yeah,
him?
was that-
Do I look like him?
Explains why I'm so short. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I would go back specifically for that purpose.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
We're gonna discover so
Fun
many
fact.
things about
Fun
that.
fact.
Is so good. You're a descendant of Oompa
I'm a
Loompa.
descendant of an Oompa Loompa, so when they call me
That-
short stack, I just don't take
Yo,
there's no
Rob
shame.
is losing it back there behind the scenes.
He needs
this
a
is
camera.
the best. So look, just a little bit. Like if you don't know, I'm 6'4". Justin is maybe
5'5", generously.
with the hair spiked up.
It
Maybe.
depends when you ask me.
All right, give us the next one,
right.
Mayor Rob.
Next one is: would you rather make a phone call or send a text?
Oh, text. Done.
Text all day,
Next
yeah,
one.
next.
one.
No question. Yeah,
No
think
one-
about that
who
one.
makes phone calls anymore?
Ask my mom.
I have a hard
She
enough time
knows.
calling businesses and being like, "Hey,
Yeah.
can I text you just what's going on?" Go ahead, next one.
That was easy. All right. Next one is: would you rather use a fork, no spoon, or only be able to use a spoon, no fork?
So no spoons in your life or no forks. I actually think I know yours, and I'm gonna write it down. And I can
is tough.
explain why.
So
only forks
I
or
can
only
choose
spoons
one or the other.
for life.
If I
the
choose
other.
spoon,
If you
I
choose
don't get a
spoon-
fork for the rest of my
Yep.
life. Choose a fork, I don't get a spoon. I'm gonna.
So I'll tell you mine. I'm
Yeah,
going
let me hear
fork.
yours.
I'm going
Okay.
fork. Most everything I have in life is fork. Even when I have like a mishmash of food and stuff like that, and a spoon would be more convenient, I tend to gravitate towards fork
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So I'm always towards that. And I know exactly what yours is
All
going to
right,
be.
so mine is gonna be spoon
Yep.
because I can't eat cereal with a fork.
Yep. I knew exactly. I have it written down right there. It says spoon cereal.
Yeah,
I knew exactly
can't-
what your
you know,
choice
I'm
would
thinking I can eat applesauce with a fork. I can eat Jell-O, pudding, yogurt, but I can't eat cereal with a fork.
I can eat applesauce with a fork. That was
can.
your clarification.
I can.
It was like, can I eat my
Sometimes
applesauce
it's
with a
like, there's no clean spoons, baby girl. Here's a fork. Just eat. And she'll do it. She's just like me. So I guarantee you, 15 years, we're gonna ask her that question. She's gonna choose spoon too.
She's gonna.
Because I know I can eat this with a fork, but
I
I,
know
can't
you're
eat
a
it with a
cereal
spoon.
guy. I know 1,000% you're a cereal guy. So we just got a couple minutes. So I want your favorite Bible verse as we try to get to know
Yeah.
each other a little bit better.
So favorite Bible verse for me, and I don't know if it's just a season, like if it's just for this period of my
I
life.
honestly believe that the scripture that speaks to you most in the moment, your favorite verse, for the most part, will change for most people throughout life because a different verse is going to speak
sure.
and move you in different ways.
So I've been with for a couple of years now at that 1 Timothy 4:12. Let no
Okay.
one despise you for your youth, but set the believers an example in speech and conduct and love, faith, and in purity. I just think, I'm a young guy. I'm a young guy in ministry. I'm fresh-ish, I'm still kind of fresh
you're
to
early on
ministry.
in
I'm
the
still
ministry life.
learning things. I'm still learning how to do what I do and stuff like that. And under your wing is amazing. So I just reminding myself that I'm here for a purpose. God put me here. I may be young and a little bit dumb, but I'm not as dumb as people may think. And I believe in me, just like God does.
Actually, one of the things I do tell you all the time is just do you. Like,
Yeah,
keep
just be
doing you
myself.
and just go and move forward. And listen, you're studied up enough, you're faithful enough to just keep moving on in that direction.
Appreciate
So I'm going to have you look up what used to be one of my favorite verses, Isaiah 28:20. And this is the one that I used to share an awful lot. I want you to read that one for everyone. Isaiah 28:20.
That's the paper Bible, if you hear it.
Yeah,
28:20.
we're trying to be intentional about bringing out the paper. 28:20. Read it nice and clear.
28:20, Isaiah 28:20. For the bed is too short to stretch oneself on, and the covering too narrow to wrap oneself in.
So this is often my life verse. Being 6'4" and a big guy,
I instantly saw you in a bed.
many beds are too short and the blankets are too
Especially
small.
at camp.
That one, especially, I used to be youth leader. All the camps, all the beds are far too short. Actually, my passage, and one, it's actually my parents too, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he'll make straight your paths. That's the ESV version. So that's always kind of been my go-to. It's one of the ones I share most often with everybody. So we're dragging on a little bit. We need to wrap up. I'm getting a little sign from Mayor Rob. He's I see him hesitating back there.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, so we'll do that.
Mayor, sir.
So yeah, the big final thing, what'd you learn?
I learned that, we mix well. I think we have something that is valuable, that we can share experiences, we can share knowledge, and that we can give something to the community with what we're doing here.
And I just learned that you need to learn humility. No, I learned that you are an Oompa Loompa. You're a descendant of Oompa Loompas, and that is not going away anytime soon. Mayor Rob, anything in the background? Anything you learned?
That's pretty much what I was going to say. the more I look at Justin, it kind of the resemblance does.
It's so bad now.
look
You
It's
see
so
it now,
bad.
right?
I can see
You
it.
can see it?
All right, that is episode 1 of Making Light of It with Justin and Sam. I'm Sam. God bless.
I'm Justin. God bless you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Making Light of It. Please connect with us on Instagram and Facebook. You can find the links in the description of this episode. We would love to hear from you. And please feel free to email us at makinglightofItradio@gmail.com. And remember, like, share, or subscribe so you'll be notified when the next podcast is uploaded. And as always, God bless.